I do think that we're going to break and gain that 0. 100% it's going to happen. However, does that spell disaster for Axie Infinity? Kind of, right? We have to recover at some point. And the big issue with that is that right now we're at a critical inflection point with Ethereum. 2530 is the support zone for Ethereum. So if we start breaking that, we could see a run all the way down to the 1800 level. 1800 for Axie Infinity would mean an AXS token worth probably around $10 or less.
Welcome back to Investment Tribe, where you've subscribed because you want to learn all about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and other digital assets. Don't forget to leave us a thumbs up and enable the notifications so you'll be alerted whenever we post a new video. In this video, we will be focusing on Axie Infinity. This is sort of the more in-depth version of our previous video, the one that talks about the latest updates for the game. So, if you want to know more about what's happening with Axie Infinity, you should watch this video until the end. But first, an important disclaimer. We are not financial advisors. We're just enthusiasts in this field. So don't take this as professional advice and invest at your own risk. So let's not waste any time, and let's just dive into the topic at hand. Smooth Love Potion is the vehicle or token you exchange on Axie Infinity. Think of it as your economy in the game, the dollar for the Axie ecosystem. We want to break down their article because this is a massive dump of information into the Axie community. Let's get to their news about the upcoming Season 20 and economic balancing adjustments. They revealed all of it in this blog post. First, the adventure mode is going to be gone. So this includes rewards for first-time completion and daily quest SLP. They will also change the arena reward structure dramatically to reduce SLP rewards. They will massively expand the Axie leaderboard, and sub-800 MMR players will now earn 1 SLP per win. What they want to do there is be considerate of players with weaker Axies. They're also considering reworking the energy system to scale more linearly. So all of this applies to the utilization of NFTs in the game. These game economies are critical to the players, and for those looking at a play-to-earn model, it's what makes a token move. Let's dive into the state of the digital nation. Finding balance amongst all of this dynamics is an ongoing process. The devs experienced the euphoria that comes with incredible growth. They've all seen that, but had this uncertainty, so they felt the pinch. They think a lot about the players, and they've started to see Axie slide on the sentiment data over the past couple of months. It hasn't been the high flyer that it was. They think it's critical to ensure the health of a predictable economy. They believe the fastest way to reduce this volatility is to come to terms with their collective responsibilities within Axie and quickly work to build consensus and enable each other's community efforts. It's an important move because they're leading the pack. They're setting the standards for many game economies that are out there. Their economic balancing post has 3 goals: creating a framework of community dialogue around economic balancing, preparing the community for upcoming changes, and discussing users' feedback. We believe they could have avoided many of the troubles Axie faced in December and January had they done this much earlier. Inflation of SLP has been very high, with around 4 times created versus supplied per day. They're looking at where they can strategically reduce issuance to balance. It kind of overinflated their economy. If you look at burns versus mints, you can see the movement. They create far more SLPs each day than burned. That's the issue they're trying to deal with right now. That's the whole point of play to earn and one of the reasons they're doing all these kinds of burn events. Let's get into eliminating the adventure mode and the daily quest rewards. Let's start with a brief overview of the recent mint rates. If you just go to the Axie Substack, you can see the rundown. Roughly 40% of created SLPs from the adventure mode, 44% is from PvP, and 14% is minted from players claiming the daily quest. It's what they're trying to get to. They should use in-game rewards to incentivize social activities and improve the ecosystem. Also, players should earn them as a result of skilled activity. In our opinion, this is a bit of a band-aid. It's a good mandate, it's moving in the right direction, but we still think it's yet to be determined how far this economic growth will go. They initially conceived the adventure mode as a way for the community to learn how to play the game. It has outlived its purpose. As a way for people to earn tokens from the game, it's far more critical to use SLP to incentivize skilled gameplay in the arena. We know that it's bitter medicine, but as the dev said, The Axie economy now requires drastic and decisive action. They risk the total and permanent economic collapse because that would be far more painful. A little dramatic, but definitely to the point. Increasing the burn is another one they discussed in the last month's dev update. The devs are kind of pushing this on a long-term basis. This is the list of unique cosmetics and skins they're going to upgrade. Axie body parts, they're going to do some in-game emojis, breeding events, buy-in tournaments, which we thought was kind of interesting, and then Axie naming, which will also be enjoyable. So again, good stuff with all of this. It plays into what we're seeing with Smooth Love Potion, because right now, everybody wants to grab it. That's why it's causing the price of Smooth Love Potion to do some funky things. Next, let's talk about Origin. Some players may also be wondering why they haven't released the vertical progression for Axies. That's because they're going with prioritized growth and onboarding of millions of players. And without this approach, the game would remain small. It tells us that the Sky Mavis team is getting to a scenario where they realize what Axie could be for Web 3.0. So they're looking ahead to the future here. We think the address to the issue they're dealing with around the economy is right on point. It just needs to continue to advance. One issue that will arise with eliminating rewards for Adventure Mode is the decrease of the utility of non-PvP Axies. There are also some incentives for players to upgrade to 10 or 20 Axies, so this will increase too. But it's more efficient to split up 9 Axies into 3 separate accounts. It will create more of this team approach and give them to scholars than it is to buy your 10th one from the marketplace or for the extra energy. These are some of the new strategies that players will need to consider and develop. The devs believe that the economic changes will allow them to start tightening the cash flow and getting the economy moving in the right direction. They know this will be a key to executing and delivering new burn mechanisms. Burn mechanisms will be super important. This issuance reductions will not be enough to get their economic engine back to full strength. Again, this is a band-aid. They need some more creative burn mechanisms to allow this economy to get back into it. It will be vital for them to share a roadmap of the coming features and economic sinks. Now, let's take a look at the CoinMarketCap chart. Everybody knows what happened. We saw the economic pressure and started to cave in on the system. Axie fell to $45, but right now, we are on a corrective adjustment. That's happening in tandem with what's going on with Ethereum and Bitcoin. But is that always the case? Bitcoin typically leads the market, but many of these metaverses start to have a life of their own, and Axie Infinity is one of those. We still hope that we can see a near $300 AXS this year. Granted, a lot of things have to happen. If they fix this economy and onboard the number of new players, this game will be around for a long time. Now, let's talk about SLP or Smooth Love Potion. So, last January, the sentiment was 71.22 and 67.93 was the amplification score, which is not a good split. It's a rarity that you see this. It tells you that something's getting ready to happen in most scenarios. In this particular situation, it's telling you that you have an economy under assault, and many people are trying to figure out how to utilize this. That's why you're seeing so much action with SLP. They're holding in right now. That will depend on how Bitcoin starts to continue to move. But the feeling is that they're adding in the components for Axie and Sky Mavis. So they needed to fix the economy, get to a point where they could start onboarding a lot more players, and build burn mechanisms to enable. All 3 of those are on their to-do list now. We think this is a good move for Axie overall, and you need to invest right now. It's a feature in which you can earn some rewards, especially with what we're seeing right now regarding growth on the project. Everything's pointing in the right direction. It's one of our most significant investments, and we will continue to invest heavily into the metaverse. That's our video for today. We hope you like it. Share your opinions with us in the comment section below. We love to read about them. Well, that's all for now. This is Investment Tribe. See you again tomorrow. Keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe.